Hey, what's up everybody, BDO44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so Russell Westbrook is listed as doubtful with a hamstring for the next game versus the Denver Nuggets tomorrow. And I don't know what to think of that. Obviously, the last time we saw him, he was perfectly fine physically. He shot the ball ill-advised, and we've talked a lot about it. But I didn't think of any sort of ailment that might have altered what was going on out there, as maybe an excuse or I didn't see nothing. But I have a suspicion that we're not going to see Russell Westbrook in a Laker uniform anymore. That's what I think. I got a suspicion we won't be seeing him anymore. Now, I haven't heard anything from no rumors, nothing. But that doubtful designation, after what we just saw, I just feel like most people feel like me. We don't need anyone wearing our uniform that's willing to behave that way when the game is in our favor. The whole point of what the Lakers are about is to win basketball games. We don't have our picks, so we don't want to lose any basketball games for any reason in the regular season. And I understand that that's like obvious for most, but I think it's kind of like an undertone of understanding that losing might be beneficial for some teams this season, because obviously Wembanyama is in existence, and that is no secret to no one. You got to have a bad pick to basically have a good chance of landing him, or you have to have a bad team to get a good pick. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So that's not a secret, but that's not our circumstance whatsoever. So when you're up by one in the closing moments of a basketball game, and you're, one of your most important players, your most expensive player, does something like that, with everything else that's been going on, you just feel like the tone behind the scenes is probably that of questioning whether or not they should send him back out there. After all that they've seen, what we cannot accuse him of is not being someone who wants to help us win. He made mistakes. He did things that were outside of his control. He lost focus or what have you. But not until this previous game could anyone accuse him of not wanting to help the Lakers win. But that is exactly what I accused him of on this camera, because I couldn't come up with any other logical reason why he'd take that shot. None. Other than he just wanted to get the ball back to Dame Lillard. Simple as that. Simple and plain. He did not intend to give us any opportunity at a good possession there. He was more so interested in just getting a shot up because he wanted a shot up. And while I don't think that was the first time I'd seen that even in that game by a Los Angeles Laker, at the end of the game when we have the lead in that circumstance, and then his explanation is, I wanted a 2-for-1. Anyone who knows basketball knows that that's a telltale sign that someone doesn't know how to play when they're doing that. And if we're paying him $47 million to play basketball and he doesn't know the rules, or he doesn't know strategy in its most basic form, and gives the ball back to one of the most deadly shooters and killers the game ever known in Dame Lillard, it's simply irresponsible to send him back out there. That's where I'm at with it. And I've been saying that for a while for a plethora of reasons, but now here's yet another one. It is not Russell Westbrook's fault that he makes any more mistakes anymore. It's Jeannie Buss's. Period. That's where I'm at as a fan. I'm not blaming Russell Westbrook for another mistake he makes. Not another single one. Anything else after that is on her. Because at this point, it's now an executive decision to make now. Everyone on the media is putting the pressure on. I've been screaming it. Fans are screaming it. We've been saying it all season. He should have been sent home last year when he was doing some of the stuff that he was doing out there. But now, his behavior and his attitude is losing us basketball games. So I don't know what else to say. And you guys have been watching me. I've had a frustrating attitude about it, but I just understand that everything's very sensitive when you're trying to win now. And as a fan, if I'm gonna lose, I want to lose for a reason. I feel like there's always strategy for every single avenue when you're talking about the NBA and what what your franchises can stand to benefit from. If you want to lose basketball games, there's a way to lose basketball games and it still be good things happening. This is not that. This is not that. This is losing for losing's sake without anything to benefit from it. And I can't think of a worse thing to watch, to be a part of, to pay for. I can't think of anything worse in regards to sports than meaningless basketball at the beginning of the season. And if we don't fix our situation over the next several games, I think we could be in a position to where that will be our season. That will be the theme of our season, is what type of pick can we land the New Orleans Pelicans for next season. That's going to be the story. And my thing is, if we were going to do all of that, we should have been trading Bron and AD and everybody else for an entirely new future. We wouldn't have our own picks, but at least we could not waste Bron's time and AD's time and ultimately get something in return for them without them aging any further and losing value as to which we will get nothing for them. I think more so than anything, I just know that the Lakers have already given up so much to try to make this happen that we might as well just see it all the way through. And so doing so means for a certain level of focus and quick decisions on Genie's part to preserve that reality. To make it still make sense that we did all of this. But if we let our season go away, that will be our reality. So, I am almost disappointed that I haven't heard that he's been sent home, to be honest with you. But the fact that says doubtful is encouraging that at least he won't be just thrown back out there. If nothing else, they at the very least, they appear to understand our concern. That's what doubtful means to me when I see it next to Russell Westbrook's name. If I'm being completely and utterly honest with everybody, that is just the Laker organization essentially saying, we hear you and we're considering this. Honest to God, that's all that says to me. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that man's hamstring. I didn't think there was nothing wrong with him the last time he missed a game. I didn't think there was nothing wrong with him the previous time he missed a game either. And I'm going to stand on that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with Russell Westbrook. He's one of the most durable basketball players the game has ever seen. The only time he's really missed real time is when Patrick Beverley, our very own Patrick Beverley, ran into his leg and sent him out for like 2 seasons. Other than that man don't get hurt. He doesn't get hurt. He's like Bron in that way before Bron came here. But he don't get hurt like that. Those guys are genetically gifted, man. And so, that knee thing, sure, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Why not? It's sore. I'm sure. But if he played for a team that was fitting for him and all these other different things, I don't think we see that shot last game. I don't think we see doubtful next to his name. I don't think he missed them last games that I was telling him. I don't think none of that. I think all of that is unique to us, the Los Angeles Lakers. And I can't even give him the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes I sit here and I say, he didn't ask to be a Laker. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That was reported. He definitely asked to be a Laker. He said he didn't want to go nowhere. He didn't want to be traded from the Washington Wizards unless it was to the Lakers. He definitely wanted to be a Laker. So he just as much as culpable for why this mess is bad as anyone else. Because all he had to say is, nah, that fit is terrible. Please do not send me there. And we would have been fine. But nobody was wise enough to say that. Nobody. Not Bron, not Westbrook, not Genie, not AD. Nobody appeared to be able to say, even myself, this should not take place. And that's what's most disturbing about all this. We gave away KCP and Kuzma. And look, all we had to do was trade them in different packages. It's not like we had to keep those guys. They didn't, it wasn't like we wanted to move forward with them. But we didn't have to just throw them into that deal. I often talk about some of the worst trades ever. That was one of the worst trades ever. It really was. Just from a contract standpoint, that was terrible. We threw a pick on top of that as well. We threw pieces, NBA champion pieces, young talent like Kyle Kuzma, KCP's in his early 30s. Like, that was just a terrible trade on all levels. Oh, it really, really was. Taking into account that we're bringing a piece to our team that fundamentally did not work on paper. Just, I don't know, man. And then it's like, okay, we knew once we did that, you could see on paper immediately once you do that you can't undo that. That's the thing. It's like, it looks as it looks. It's not something that shocks you when you see that you can't move certain things around once you get them. You know that before you do it. And we still said, yeah, let's go ahead and make it happen. And I don't know if we can get out from under this, man. The deeper we get into it, as bad as he's looked to start this season, I don't think we can get out from under it. And the problem is, for me personally, is I just did not anticipate him coming back playing this terribly. I really thought he was going to go back this summer and do some things differently to come back. Someone intent on proving himself capable of being in this league. And someone who understood what it took to do that. And boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Because the things that we're asking him to do, I know it's just a change of pace for him. But to be this defiant about something that will simply help you stay in the league so you can continue doing what it is that you want to do in life. To not see that it's just chess, bro. It's not checkers. You have to come off the bench. You got to play a certain role. You got to not take certain shots. I mean, just do it for a little while so that you can get to a point where people are, excited about bringing you in. You know your contract is immovable, sir. So wouldn't it not stand a reason to play the game, play the role? Like, for him to not be able to grasp that is disturbing. It's genuinely and generally, I should say, disturbing to me. Like, I really wonder about it. It's like I get someone could have a strong ego. Like, we've seen guys have it in their mind that they can't do certain things. Like Carmelo Anthony, his teammate at the time had the same thing going on. He couldn't do it, right? Allen Iverson, guys that just cannot overcome that stardom that must be present in order for them to perform. And I just feel like if you cannot deal with what is being given to you, then you have to gracefully bow out. You know what I mean? You got to walk away. And in Russell's situation, obviously $47 million is a reason to sit there and not. But then again, because you took the 47, this is what you have to give in order for the 47 to come to you. You got to play the game. That's what it is. The game is no longer basketball. The game is now strategy to stay in the league. You know what I mean? And he's not getting it, like, at all. He don't get it. And I'm like, Brody, seriously, man, like, you're almost out the league, brother. You're almost out the league. And it's almost like he's forgotten that it's a privilege to be in the NBA. Not to say that guys don't deserve their money, or like a lot of people say that, because when they attach that phrase, it's like, okay, guys need to get in line and shut up and dribble. Now, that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the privilege of knowing it's only like 500 people, and it's not too many people can even get in the league, bro. How many spots do they have? And you got one. And it's like you've been a star all this time, but it's like now you're not a star, so you got to kind of fall in line. It's like, if you don't want to do that, then let somebody else, let another dreamer have your spot, man. Like, let another dreamer have your spot. That's always going to be my point of view. There are plenty brothers in the hood and plenty good brothers overseas that are waiting for opportunities to get in the NBA. Move over if you're not going to take it seriously. That's what I would say to anybody, but especially somebody who's had as much to gain. The NBA has given you generational wealth. You want to keep sapping away from the league, but you don't want to provide nothing. You don't want to help teams win. You don't want to make sacrifices to do nothing. You want it to be your way, and you want the money, and you want people to like kiss your butt, and you like, come on, man. No. Somebody got to look a grown man in the eye and say, no, bro. No. Jeannie's too nice of a person. She's trying her best to keep you going, trying to keep the Lakers looking like an organization that respects superstars. But I will tell the Lakers organization, you're not obligated to treat a superstar like a superstar if he's not a superstar anymore. The field will understand beyond the shadow of a doubt that that player could not provide, therefore did not deserve it. This is not a free for all. This is business. Organizations give guys things because they can do the things that are needed for the organization to be run. That's why they have that leverage. They're not supposed to have that leverage if you can't do that for your business. You're not running your business in a way that's going to help you. You're going to be taking losses every time you do stuff like that. You know, that puts you in the red every time. You might as well just give your money away. Let's just go on charity cases if you just want to. I mean, where does it end? Where does it end? You know what I'm saying? I could use a couple $1 million. Why not? I think I'm doing just as much for the team as he is. Damn near making as much shots. That's for sure. Scoring as many points. It's not something that you have to do. For me, for him, at all. Neither. Because at the end of the day, if a person don't have the leverage to gain that type of respect, then you handing it to them means that you're giving it somewhere where it shouldn't be. You're giving it to someone instead of giving it to someone else. That's all it means. It's literally all it means. There's an imbalance there, and it's headed in the wrong direction. So that's where we're at. I think it's just about quick organizational decisions. We say it a million times. And when there's in regards to Russell Westbrook, I don't know, man. I'm concerned. Literally, like legitimately concerned. I don't know how many people are actually concerned, but I'm there. He's a professional basketball player, and he did something that threw the game. And then when asked an explanation, he couldn't give us one that was even halfway coherent to what it is that actually took place. He told us deliberately that he was making a mistake as if he didn't understand the game. He was being paid hundreds of millions of dollars to play. This is something very, very serious. Very serious. So it's like, hey, all that other stuff we've been talking about, no, we're leaning toward the Ben Simmons side of the game now. This is something else. It's been something else, but now it's okay to say it. I guess that's where we're at. Because in my mind, it's been that for about 2 years. Since he got here, it's been evident something else has been going on. But now I'm like, all right, bro. All right. We're getting to a point where it's alarming now. To where you're not even making any sense. You're not even making no sense. The denial cannot get to a place where it's this dangerous. To where you're ready to tell us that you deliberately think a mistake is something you should be doing. Instead of saying that I made a mistake. Your denial that far, you can't help a team. And I'm not talking to Russell, I'm talking to the team. They need to understand this. He can't help you. He can't help you at all. And if that's where his head has been, you should have known to remove him a long time ago. But this is what I'm saying. When people are not necessarily keen on what it is they need to do or what it is they're looking at, it's like they need advisors to help them with that. And that's what's become evident. So that's what has become so evident to me, that the type of advisors that Jeannie needs are not there. She's listening to a lot of voices, but they obviously haven't been telling her this type of stuff she needs to be listening to. All them voices, ain't none of them tell you, yo, he needs to be removed from the team. He needs this. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.